Good morning, traders, and this is your Aussie day trade setup for today, the South African top 40. So, not much really going on. It was a gap down, and then we had a fairly decent short trade on the go. But all intents and purposes, this is still an upward trend. Oscillators are crossed over at the moment on the daily, which is indicating more downside. But the fact that buyers are coming in here, and you can see the volatility is starting to die down. You can see the candles are getting a bit smaller and smaller and smaller. So volatility is starting to die down. And the big question is whether we're fighting to build structure here, or whether that structure is going to give. And I'm seeing this on pretty much all the markets at the moment. Same kind of scenario. The thing for me right now in the Aussie is that we did break through this level. Okay, we broke through and we came back to retest it in the bar, and then we went sideways. So this level here is still pretty critical, but you can see we have another Brooks gap here, which we tagged spot on. Okay, and incidentally, that was also a weekly pivot point as well. So at the moment, I think the trend has reversed. You can see on the 3-hour, we do have a break below. I'd like to see probably a retest and then another opportunity to be short again. So that's kind of the view that we've got at the moment. Unfortunately, there's nothing really happening on the market at the moment that's going to give us any clues. So Rand dollar is at 19 and 10 cent. 10 cent is 0.7 up, is it? Yes. Yeah, so 10 cent is ever so slightly up, or 0.7% up at the moment. The Nasdaq yesterday finished. Where did we finish? Nasdaq finished down 3.7%. So, and a lot of the move last night on the US markets has not been factored in at the moment. So, because we closed before the move got going. So I have a feeling we probably still got some downside to come today, and but I am a little bit hesitant at the moment, just based on what I'm seeing on the other charts at the moment. But it might just be because we're taking a breather in the Asian session, ready to move to the downside. But the trend is down, so what we're looking for is a move to the downside. But I think what you're going to find is a gap down at the moment. It's looking like a fairly decent gap to the downside. And then there'll be no fuel to that gap, and then you'll see buyers step in. Okay, so that's kind of the structure that I see at the moment. If we do open flat, then there is probably an opportunity for a bit of a short. But if we do gap down, then I think I'd rather just wait and see what's going to transpire. So you can see that's 580 point move to the upside when the US market opened. And then the US market basically fell below that another, probably the equivalent of 700, 800 points. And then it was bouncing around and still bouncing around. So lots of indecision at the moment. So I suppose it also depends where futures goes right now. Okay, so what do we want to do? I mean, this is so volatile. It's so difficult to trade. That was your entry there. I managed to get that there, which was basically the second attempt at the day's high. And you can see engulfing inside there, formed you a little range, which was a break of that range was a short with a stop above there, and that's exactly what transpired. Okay, so that's what we'll be waiting for today again. We'll be waiting for some structure to see what's going to transpire. And just a quick reminder here, when these two stochastics cross over far apart like that, there's normally a big move, and you can see there's the big move. Okay, so so I think for today, I expect more volatility, I think, and there's so many levels here that it's so difficult to ascertain what's going to transpire. I mean, oil sitting at $11 a barrel, crude oil sitting at $10.50 a barrel at the moment, while Brent oil is sitting at So that's down another 18% on Brent and 9.5% on crude oil. So, I don't know. I really don't know what's going to transpire here. So for me at the moment, it's really, the trend is down. Okay, we do have a downward trend, but again, I'm looking for some kind of a pullback. I don't want to jump in at the bottom, so I want to see some kind of a pullback and then jump in. So if we just delete all the noise and just work through this logically, trend is down on the hour. We spent 2 days getting through the trend. We got through the trend yesterday. Down, tested it, down, tested it again. So what we're looking for is any kind of pullback. We're looking to be short again. That's the bottom line. But you need to take cognizance of all those levels below you. Okay. So, in other words, a break below the low of yesterday. So that's the one structure. So break below. I'm looking for the pullback. As soon as the pullback materializes and I get some price action that indicates we're going to continue, then we're in for the short with a relatively tight stop loss. Your stop loss should be around 200 to 250 points. If you can't get a stop loss for that value on the lower time frames, then just leave it alone, and that'll move you down. Okay. To the other side, if we get above the swing high of 44,272, I want to see a break above. I want to see a pullback, some structure being built, and then opportunity to get back in for the long. Okay. So that's kind of the two levels that we're looking at this morning, but it's going to be very difficult to cast to throw the dice, just to say today, and to ascertain which way we're going to go. If I look at what oil is doing at the moment, and I look at some of the currency pairs, it's looking like we're having another down day. But I think at this stage, what we probably find is that the buyers are trying to prop this up, and those buyers are big players. Buyers are doing a little bit more money than what we have. So we're going to have to wait and see a decent break, or alternatively, I need another pullback. Okay. So with the Aussie, I'm in two minds as to whether we're even going to trade it. I think that's the bottom line. If we do get a breakout to the downside, that is the trend. Granted, we will go with the trend. But you can see what's happening at the close of the day. Well, not so much on Monday, but Friday. It was Friday, right? Yeah. So Friday, you can see it just was profit taking, and then Monday, down, and then the buyers come in. Okay. And then it's down, and then the buyers come in. So probability is that we're going to have the same structure today. So it'll be down, and then the buyers will come in on the US session and then close out. Okay. So on the international market, I can't see levels where buyers are going to come in. So just bear that in mind as well. So for me, this is looking like a pretty big gap down and then just sideways. If we do gap and we do start moving to the upside, I'm not really interested in chasing that long. I'm looking for a short increase. I'm looking for structure to get in short and move down. If we open flat, then I'm sitting on my hands until we break one of these two levels. Okay, so that's kind of the plan of action for the Aussie today. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you guys later. Cheers for now.